Greetings dear ones, in the name of the Almighty, it is I, Sananda, come to talk with you once more. Today I would like to speak with you about greed. Greed, my friends, takes many forms: greed of the mind, greed of the heart, greed of the body, and greed of the worldly kind, but usually people only recognize the earthly, worldly greed. But my dear friends, this is but the first level of greed. Yes, this is the kind where you want all the things that money can buy, and even those that it can't buy, but it is but the outer effect of a far deeper cause. Greed expresses on all the lower levels of your being, not just physically in this way. It all begins in your mind. You want this and you want that. In your mind you lust after all these things, and from there it reaches down through your being, affecting every action you take, every thought you have. My dearest brother Buddha told you this so very long ago now. Yet today it still is rampant all over this world. He and I have both shown you the error of this way of thinking, but still you do not understand. Well, some of you have made the connection, but many are still missing the point and have not yet learned the lesson here. When held in your mind this greed, it becomes a fearsome thing, the root cause of so very many wars. It is true. Take the wars in the Holy Land for instance. They go on and on endlessly, year after year, century after century, and it is greed that they are all about. This side say they own it, the other side says no, they do. But let me say this, no one owns it, period. We are only stewards on this blessed world. We own none of the land, none of the seas and oceans. All is but on loan to us to take our sustenance from, nothing more. It is high time you all realize this fact. So claiming ownership of anything upon her is a travesty of the law, and it is time to cease doing it. Accept your stewardship and start doing your duty as a steward. As such, seek to build bridges with your neighboring nations, not war against them, for this is all greed, not loving acceptance. Greed of the mind is the root cause of all these, deep and in many cases dark desires for such things. You must teach your mind, not accept it as a dominance in your life. You, the soldier, the true master of this ship, will call your body, not your mind. So start to take back your true power, tell your mind to back off, and sit still, to listen to your counsel, for you are its master. But in doing this, be not the tyrant that it was to you, be a kind and loving master. Show your mind there is a better way, that of truth, of loving kindness. There are greeds in our being, but they are not sins, my dear ones. They are errors in judgment, errors in perception caused by erroneous thoughts, my dear friends, and in truth, your mind is waiting for you to recognize that, and come to lend it a hand and show it a better way to deal with things. This is the cause of all sins, as the church wants to label them, giving you so very many guilt trips about how very evil you are in the process. The whole process is flawed, to say the very least, my dear ones. For in truth I tell you, there is no sin, they are only errors you've made, that you need to correct. Even the original sin they speak of is a lie. For you see, long ago they realized that, to really and truly control you all they needed to do was come up with the biggest guilt, sin, and say it was all a woman's fault. Then they preached it and preached it, until you all in your innocence began to believe it was true, and they've just reinforced it, over and over, and over since then. They have been scheming at all manner of things for centuries, my dear ones. It's now time they began to pay for their sins, but in their case those sins aren't errors, because they just kept on making them. The church ceased being the instrument of God's teaching. With each book of truth, it chose to remove from the Bible. And let me tell you, there have been so very many popes, who had chosen the name Innocentus, and then gone out slaying everyone who would not convert to Christianity, that it is not funny. Each and every act done by these same has added thousands of sins, but these are karma piled upon karma, and karma must be paid. That is cosmic law, dear ones. There is no escaping it. So do all you can, to help your struggling mind to awaken to truth, my dear friends. I am Sananda, in love and light. I embrace you, and am ever with you.